see, I've got this tree right here, and you can see that it's pretty much diagonal at this point. And this is a leftover from Helene. And this is one of numerous trees on the property and off the property that have fallen or started to fall or have died since Helene. You can see some other ones out there in the woods that are falling as well. But this one's right on our property, and it's right next to this fence. And I've been paying attention to where it is in relation to the fence. And you can see all the roots right here bulging up from the tree slowly falling, and the tree is closer to the fence. So what I'm going to do now is remove the top rail, take some of the links out so that this tree can fall without damaging the fence. But I might lose a post in the process because the way that it looks like it's going to fall, but maybe not. It might fall before that post and in between this post and that post. But it kind of goes up and curls back to the right, and I think what I'm going to do is start cutting it and let it fall. I did have another tree, a big double white pine. It was 150 feet tall up there at the top of the yard that we had to have professionals come out and cut, which was pretty expensive, but it needed to come out because it was at risk of hitting our house. So that's gone, and I asked for a price just to put this one on the ground, and they quoted me $800, and that's basically just to put a cut in it, drop it on the ground, and nothing else. So I'm going to attempt to do this on my own. It's definitely going to cause some issues with some of the other trees when it falls, and it is what it is. All right, I got the fence down where I need to, and I'm really hoping that I don't need to put too much thought in this. I think the more I think about it, the more likely I may make a mistake. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start cutting, and what I'm hoping is that when I put the cut in, that it doesn't just sit where the cut was. I hope that it either falls down, or because the root system's no longer supporting it, maybe the top portion will continue to slide down the trees that are supporting it and land on the ground. We'll see what happens. I ended up doing some more thinking as far as where I want to cut this and how I want to cut it. Originally I was thinking possibly cut it up higher, but the only issue is if I cut it up higher and then it falls forward, it could cause like a pendulum effect where this goes that way and then the top comes back this way. I don't think it'll happen because I think it's leaning too far that way diagonally, but what I think I'm going to do is cut low, and then in order to prevent it from sliding backwards that way, I'm going to have to kind of block it a little bit so that it has something to be against when it falls. Otherwise it's going to go that way and probably that way. I just got to be in the right spot. So even though I'll have eye protection and ear protection, typically I like to hear what a tree's doing. I'll crack one of the earpieces open a little bit so I can actually hear what it's doing and proceed from there. It is slowly cracking. I can hear it slowly cracking where I cut. And I'm trying to watch to see where it's going to go up there. Some branches have been breaking and falling down. May have to cut it some more, get some more weight on it up at the top so it'll start breaking and hopefully go to the ground. All right, here we go. Put some more cuts in it. Tree is almost cut all the way through at the bottom, but the top of the tree is really being held up from going through. On occasion you'll hear a couple snaps. The bottom's really not moving anymore, and it's got the tree itself's got a big bow in it right now. It's bowed downward. I'm not sure what it's going to do. go quite the way I wanted it to, because it shifted over and now it's sitting right above that post right there, so I'm probably going to lose that post. And at this point I don't think I want to be anywhere near the fence, so I may end up just losing the post and possibly some fence, but I'm gonna have to cut this again in order to get it down. I did not expect it to stay locked in up at the top, and it just does not want to let go. This tree is now perfectly in line with, if you look, you'll see the tree, the post, small tree, which I think is a tulip tree, and then a pine tree. And this pine tree is sitting flat up against it, but it's completely bowed. So now that it's off the stump, what I'm going to try to do is pull it this way towards me. Hopefully that dirt's soft enough to make it move some, but if it ends up getting wedged in against some roots, then it's not going to go anywhere. But I'm hoping I can get it to move some and move downward and then possibly fall, because right now it's very unsafe. You can see right here, there's a piece laying flat on the ground. Basically what I did was an undercut so that it would fall forward. I didn't do a top cut. This tree, even though the tree service said that it was dead, it's not actually completely dead yet. It's more the roots gave out. So yeah, basically I did an undercut. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use my tractor to try to pull that bottom piece out, and then I'm gonna do another undercut. I probably won't be able to do too many more undercuts because of the way this tree is sitting, because eventually it's going to be at the point where it's going to be standing up and could possibly come back this way. If you look up there, you can see where it's laid up flat against that other pine tree. Hopefully be able to pull this out. It might still be attached, so it may not work. So I may have to do another cut before I can actually pull it away. But I'm going to try to pull it away right now. Alright, so that bottom part is connected enough to the other part that I noticed when I started pulling, the whole tree started coming. So I'm going to attempt to pull this. I wasn't pulling it too hard, but hopefully I can get this to fall some. And it would make it a whole lot easier, because otherwise I'm going to be cutting little links for a while before I get this tree down. So let's see what happens. Now look at that. It actually, the way it fell, it did not crash. It wedged itself between those two trees up there, and then also wedged itself right up against the stump right there, because otherwise the bottom part of the tree would have went out that way, but the stump prevented that. I don't know if this is going to make it easier or harder to cut, but alright. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than this, but it kind of worked out. There it is. It's definitely not dead. It's doesn't have a lot on it, because typically what happens is the trees here constantly bang into each other and they lose all their branches. So that's what's happened in this case. But you can see it slid right down that tree and right down that tree, right down there, and then the stump at the bottom is kind of keeping it in place. Almost done. I got all this cut up. Got a couple more pieces, and then all the way down to there